Hello and welcome to the 44th episode of the But I'm Knitting podcast. My name is Ramona. I'm a knitter from Toronto and welcome to my corner of the crafting world. You can find me on Ravelry as Mona Lee 81. You can also find me on Instagram as Rome_Raven. My memory is so shoddy when it comes to remembering that. You can also find me on my Etsy shop, which is Love Rome Yarns. And I actually started using my blog again, like this week. So if you wanted to check that out, that's there. I'll provide the link in the description box below. I'm still not using my Ravelry group, but it's progress. So this week I have one finished object, one work in progress, 2 new cast-ons, but one of them will be frogged. Yeah, so we'll do it like that. So this week I have got a pair of socks done. My What a Fox socks. Actually, I should do it like this first. Okay. So you want to know what this means? This is what's left of the socks, of the fox socks, right? Tail partially gotten rid of. One whole fox is there, but it's no longer attached to socks. So that means I finished a pair of socks. So this is the first one that was already done from before. You can see it with its beautiful teals and blues and browns and specks of white and dark brown. And this is the second sock that I was working on. You can clearly tell I have not woven in any ends for these things, and it looks like a ramen noodles. So last time you had seen these socks, I was here, just past the heel. And this week, I finished the rest of the leg. So I am very happy about that. So I can take off the stitch marker now, my progress keeper. I can do this. There we go. And this is my second pair of finished socks for the year, but none that I've just newly casted on for this year. So that's good. It's progress. Let's take this one off. Put this over there for safekeeping. Okay, next project. I guess we'll go in my works of progress. I spent about 5 to 10 minutes before I started recording wondering where in the world I put my Find Your Fade, only to realize it was sitting right beside my computer the entire time. With this one, there is no progress. You want to know why? I was distracted by other things. But, let me see. Right? Just double checking. Oh no, hold on. I worked on it Thursday evening. My mistake. So there is progress. Woohoo. Okay. I didn't think I had done anything, and I forgot. So this is the fade. I believe this is changed from where it was last week. If not, well then, yeah, you can get to look at it again. Okay. Hold on. Get that untangled there. So if memory serves correct, the last place I was when you saw it was right where that pink stitch marker is at the bottom, and I made it up to here. I'm about halfway through the color lining, I guess, before I go on to the lace pattern. I may pick this up more again this week. I don't know. It's not because of lack of interest. It's just because I was working on a lot of other things today, this week. So, if we can go through the... So here it is. And that's it in its entirety right now. It's nice, it's big, it's fuzzy. I can wrap it around my neck. If you want to see the progress of that. Oh, still love this thing. I had my non-knitter friends were like, that's actually a really good way to keep your knitting always on you. I'm like, I know. See? It's almost ready. So that's, I believe, color 5 out of 7. Right? Yep. Alright. So that's another one done. My next work in progress is my Doula Shawl. I was convinced I would not have time to work on it much on Sunday, because last week, not Friday that passed, but the Friday before that, my aunt sent me a text, asked me if I wanted to go see the Black Panther movie. I'm like, obviously, that's a given. So, on Saturday night was when we went to go see it, but we could only get a showing for 11 o'clock at night. So, I had to be at work early the next morning, so I assumed I wouldn't get much sleep this Saturday night, so by the time we made it home, it was about 2:30 in the morning. I expected I'd crash, and as soon as I went to work, and by the time I got home, I'd go back to sleep, and somehow or another, that ended up not being the case. I guess I was on a high buzz from the movie, because I could not go back to sleep. I was so excited. So I end up having a lot of time to work on my shawl. So I have this, my last leftover of Electric Mayhem, and that means that I'm finished with section 1. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that. It's definitely going to make a square into my blanket and stuff. Hold on. So my stitch marker is a little bit deceiving this week, because I did do 1 row on to finish off the first section, but it's actually a part of section 2, so to speak. But I started, so I just put my stitch marker here because this is a more, I should get a different one, you can barely tell that it's there. This is a more accurate saying that this is where I started from. So I started section 2, which is the cabling portion, and it is coming along very nicely. Because I've seen what the shawl is supposed to look like, but I could never understand how it works the way it does, and honestly, I would have never thought that this would have worked. So, here's my shawl, all curled up. It's, hold on. So, here's my shawl as it goes. So I think I'm about halfway through section 2, and I don't know, maybe by next Sunday I could actually, I think it could be a possibility that I could finish the rest of section 2 by next Sunday, which is quite surprising. Yeah, so that's all my yarn that I'm using for it. I think I'm definitely going to keep to the colors that I have. So, number 1, this is amazing. I have to figure out how to make it again. I love it. My antique tea rose is this color. I think I'll still have a good amount of this one left over. Give a better color picture of it. Yes, it's a pinkish brown color. If the color is adjusting, yeah, like that. And then my final color, when it actually reached to it, it's ready to go, is this orangey red coral type of color. So that is it for my Doula Shawl. Now, let's go on to my other projects. On, was it Sunday? I think it was Sunday. Yes, I finally went around and got my grandfather's chest measurements, and I was all excited to start my, I think it's called Elderwood Shawl. Not shawl, Elderwood Sweater. Hold on. Correction. It's the Elwood Sweater by Jenny Weeb. So I was going on it great. I cast it on, and I was enjoying my progress, and I went ahead and I looked in the next section to see what I was supposed to be doing, and I was confused as to why I was not, why it looked exactly the same as what I was already knitting, only to realize I missed a set of increases. So that means I got to pull it back out to start it all over again, and I could not do that. I think it was like, was it Monday I was working on it? I'm like, I can't do it now, else this thing is going to be like lit on fire or something like that. So this is what I managed to get done. I was reaching the point where, yeah, see, this is the problem. I didn't do the increases, if you can look. I did not do the increases for the front lapels. I didn't do them properly. I was supposed to have an increase somewhere around here, and I completely forgot. So that's my next thing I have to work on. I got to pull it out and start it all over again. I'm using Karen Simply Soft. Yeah, this one here. In the off-white color. Ooh, where did that come from? Sorry, just a blue fleck of fluff. So this is what I'm using. Karen Simply Soft, and it's upside down. Karen Simply Soft in the off-white colorway. So I've got 3 skeins of that, and I'm going to be restarting it again. I was contemplating doing it tomorrow, but I'll have to see. Maybe when I go to Knitting Circle, I'll do it then, because Thursday during the day, unless something else comes up, I'm going to go see the Black Panther movie again. So, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to start that again real soon. My last one, I don't know why, because I just felt like casting on all the things. So, yesterday I decided I was actually going to start on that Basic Brioche beanie. Hold on a second. Sorry, the Basic Brioche beanie by Mary Ann Blacketer. So I was having a hard time with this, and it didn't even start out with reaching to the part about, ooh, just dropped a needle. This wasn't even reaching to the part where I was doing the brioche yet. My first problem, it says to cast on with a larger set of needles on the next row, go to the smaller set. The problem is, while my larger set of needles are 16-inch, my smaller set are not. They are, I assume, at least a 24. So when I was trying to knit onto them, it was getting very tight and very difficult to work with. So I actually did something that a lot of people suggest for socks, which is 2 circulars at a time. I've never been able to make it work with socks, but I think it's working for these. I have no idea if I'm doing this right, because from what I've heard, especially because I got so confused on the brioche, but from what I've heard with brioche, it looks weird and wonky until you're a few rows in, and I'm only 2 rows in of the actual brioche. So this is what I have so far. It's a, hold on, let me get out the yarn for it. I don't even know what kind of yarn it is, and I had to deal with yarn barf, so hence the reason the strings are all over the place. Okay. I don't need. You can actually see them right here in my hot mess of a bag. The blue color, I think it has something to do with ocean. Atlantis. And the cream / white is called, yeah, see what I mean about the yarn bar? It's called Cream. They're both from Red Heart Fashion Soft. So it's actually pretty soft. And eventually I'm going to have to wrap this up back so I don't get confused as to what's going on with this thing. Because this is just going to drive me up the wall. But I'm going to put it aside for the day and not stress myself out over it. I probably will not pick it up until some point, maybe tonight when I get home from the guild meeting. Because that will take me to my next section. Because I finished a pair of socks, that means I have nothing to work on that's appropriate for a meeting without getting, confused or tangling or having to concentrate too much on it. So that means we got to cast on a new pair of socks. So right now I have with me 3 pairs of Patons Kroy socks. 3 skeins of Patons Kroy socks I can start something with. So the question is, what exactly do I want to do? I can do a jacquard. This colorway is called slate jacquard. You can see. That's one option. I can do Patons Kroy FX in the colorway Canyon Colors. You can see right there. And I have like 2 balls of each one. Or the other one I can do is Bramble Stripes, which is this one. I'm not exactly certain what I want to do, because I could do self-striping. I could do something variegated. I can do something closer to being solid. I don't know what I'm going to do. See, the problem is, before I decided I was definitely casting on something new, I was looking, what was I watching? The Yarn Hoarder, and she was showing the socks that she had cranked out on her machine. Number one, it really, really makes me want to get a sock knitting machine, but don't have the money for that. So looking at the yarns the socks that she cranked out, it was actually very simple socks. I'm like looking, that actually looks like that would be nice. However, hand knitting plain socks in a solid color is not as interesting. This will be a little bit more interesting. I don't know if I really want to do stripes though. That's the thing. I should actually just check up in there just to see if I have anything that's already caked. I don't think I do. Actually, I'm pretty certain that I don't. I'll have to see. I'll hopefully decide within the next little while before I leave. I already have my needles out. I got a bag to put them in. I got everything set up to go. It's just a matter as to what exactly I will be knitting while I'm there. I think that's a disadvantage of actually finishing everything that can actually be taken with me on time. Alright, that's actually going to be everything for today. I didn't do an update for the shop. The pictures are taken and everything. It's just a matter of actually putting it up. So, as I said last week, but I will do this week. Just check on my Instagram for when I actually do an update. And yeah, and I will let you know. Alright, so that's everything for this week. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next week. Happy crafting. Bye.